Oh, hey there! If you don't know already, I'm Liz and I'm from Team Epsilon. I was in charge of the electronics for our irrigation system, and I did a lot of research that goes into how the system is going to work and also doing a circuit setup for our system. I also got to design a PCB after Robert did a lecture on PCBs, and it also involved a lot of prototyping and testing of the final product. Now, for the reports, it was a very good way of communicating with other team members what you are doing individually. And part of the feedback was mostly good, but I just needed to pay better attention to the assessment criteria. And I took that feedback on board and I applied that to my other reports as well as the presentation. Okay, now on to the challenges. I would say one of the biggest ones would be managing such a big project with a team of 8 people. But I think we went about it in a good way and sort of divided the different management tasks between certain people. So for me personally, I was the communication liaison between the gardeners and the team members at uni. That made the work a lot more productive. Another challenging thing was being the only one responsible for the electronics part of the irrigation system. It felt very daunting that I was the only one working on it, but at the same time, very rewarding. It really put me out of my comfort zone and made me push myself, and I learned to design a PCB, which is pretty cool. And it really comes down to just communicating with your group members. Another challenge would be time management, and it's not really an individual thing as much as it is a group thing. On some aspects we could have done things better, but in other times it was out of our control. Like if a part or a product was delayed in delivery, that would push back our testing and sort of put us behind schedule on certain things. But we definitely tried to be, accommodating to all the different delays. What I would have done differently, I would have definitely had a plan B set from the start. I still remember, I think in around week 6 or 7, one of the tutors asked me if I had a plan B in case the PCB didn't work for some reason, and I just looked at them and I went like, not really. I really, really hope it works. So yeah, but you can't just hope something works. It's always better to have a plan B. But in terms of group overall, I would say better communication. And we did a good job in terms of, communication, but because of how big the group is, like we had a PV group and an irrigation group, not everything was communicated between the two groups. And that sort of really set us back in a way, and it showed in the final testing day, because when we got to the final testing day, the systems just didn't work together that well. And I feel like if we had that better communication, we wouldn't have had that problem. So I would definitely say better communication from the very beginning, between not just between the irrigation like team members, but like irrigation and PV like group members. Yes. Now, as an engineer, we really need to be flexible. Like, you can plan something for a week, 2, 3, a month, 2 months, an entire semester. You can plan something for as long as you can, and things would still not go according to plan. And you just have to be flexible with it, and you just have to go with it and have a plan B and C and plan for every freaking alphabet out there. So yeah, definitely flexibility and being open to whatever the project throws your way. One thing that I loved, it's not really one thing, I loved this entire project. I loved it. I think I can only, personally speaking, I like engineering, but I never really had a thing where I'm like, that's what I want to do. And when I did this project, it just made me realize, yes, that is why I'm doing renewable energy engineering. It made me realize my passion for engineering. It made me realize that, yes, my ideas and my thoughts can actually have a good impact on my community. So thank you.